Today I'm going to present a theory. A theory that is a bit unconventional but also very interesting to mull over. Imagine a reality where whatever we feel, whatever we hear, whatever we see, whatever we say, none of it is real. What if we are just a piece of code in a giant video game? This simulation hypothesis is not a new one. It was first stated by a Swedish philosopher, Dr. Nick Bostrom, at the University of Oxford. But another believer in this theory that you may identify with is the CEO of Tesla and SpaceX and a shareholder in multiple billion-dollar companies. I'm talking about Elon Musk. In one of his interviews, he stated that there's 1 in a billion chance that we're living in a base reality. Arguably, we should hope that we're living in a simulation because otherwise humanity must have stopped advancing. That may be because of some calamity that must have erased civilization. I'm gonna let that sink in. What I believe he wants to say in simple words is that if this is not a simulation, then that means that humanity stopped advancing. But why does the civilization stop advancing? Maybe because of some calamity. Maybe they got erased. So should we hope that we are living in a simulation? All these questions are too subjective and philosophical to answer. So what I will do is explain why I believe in this theory. First of all, let's start with how you all are acquainted with this theory. Doctor Who, Phineas and Ferb, The Truman Show, all have at one point or the other been based on this idea. And of course, I haven't forgotten about the biggest movie that involves living in a simulation, the Keanu Reeves flick, The Matrix. The basic idea is that the universe we live in is not real. It's just a simulated environment created by, I don't know, future humans, or maybe aliens, or maybe future aliens, who knows? I still haven't given you a definite proof why this theory might be true, and the reason for that is there's absolutely no proof. But it does explain some phenomena that still aren't explained by science. First of all, let's take the example of all supernatural beliefs like gods and ghosts. If this theory is taken literally, then that would mean that the programmer who created the simulation is God, and the ghosts and the supernatural stuff are just glitches in the matrix. Every program has vulnerabilities, and any problem can just show itself in the form of ghosts and weird scenario. Which brings me to a topic that everyone, as a science student, expects me to talk about: physics. Oh no, don't sleep yet. It's interesting, seriously. We know all about the laws of gravitation, laws of motion, laws of charge, laws of friction. These laws basically govern the world, and if you think about it, they are just rules. Rules that no one can break. So why in the 4.5 billion years of Earth's history have we not seen any person run faster than the speed of light? Why? Everything that goes up must come down unless external forces apply to it. And why is there no intelligent life outside Earth? The answer to these questions can be solved if we just ask one more question: how a game is built. The first thing we do is obviously think of an idea for the game. The second thing is creating rules. Rules that no one can break. Rules like the invisible walls in the sky so we don't go out of range. That's why we can see the stars in the night sky and can't ever reach them while playing a game. The existence of such rules simply don't make sense. Another thing that doesn't make sense is the Mandela effect. It's a phenomenon where we question the most mundane things about our past. The situation is when most of the people misremember the same thing in the same way. For example, mirror, mirror on the wall. A pretty popular line from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. But is it the line? No, it's not. Actually, the line is magic mirror on the wall. Yes, our childhood was a lie. And for those who call themselves the hardcore Star Wars fans, what did Darth Vader say at the end of Empire Strikes Back? Was it, "No, Luke, I am your father"? Or was it, "No, I am your father"? The correct answer is the second one. "No, I am your father." So what does this Mandela effect have to offer to improve our simulation hypothesis? Anyone who is familiar with coding or maybe even writing answers in a test knows what revising is. Revising what we have done before. So maybe the creator is continuously changing the paths of our lives, and those who remember things that have not happened exactly, just remember things that the creator doesn't want them to remember. This is bad news for us, because if we remember these things, then that means that the program is malfunctioning. But what about the amendments that were just perfect? What if coronavirus never entered India? Or what if it never even existed? If this theory is true, then that means that we know nothing about our past, and moreover, we know nothing about our present. Maybe we are just brains kept in a jar. Maybe we are not in the simulation with our consent. Maybe we are part of a well-organized crime. Maybe we are just a few lines of code in a high school game project. One thing we know for sure is that we absolutely know nothing.